A very good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another episode of Ambitious Monday, brought to you by BNI Ambitious Chapter. I am your host, Zul Hilmi. If you're wondering what this show is about, let me tell you three things about this. Firstly, this show is all about sharing knowledge, business opportunity, and network of different trades. Secondly, this is your chance to learn more about us. We're quite a fun bunch, and the reason why I'm actually part of this BNI Ambitious chapter is because I actually want to make friends with like-minded individuals. You know, business can be quite a very lonely journey, right? So it's good to make friends, and if you want to go fast, you go alone. You want to go further, you go together. So lastly, you may not need the service or product at this point of time, but it's worth knowing the go-to person of a particular industry. So if you are watching right now, remember to give a like and share to our page and leave some comments or even questions, and we'd love to interact with you. We'll have different experts every episode, and I hope that you'll get a paradigm shift, something that, a light bulb moment after viewing every episode. So this afternoon, we have a very smart and brilliant gentleman who provides professional live streaming services. Live streaming has been going on since in the 1990s, but it picked up in 2010 onwards, especially when YouTube and Facebook implementing it. And then when COVID came, it propelled the industry even further. But now there's no COVID, so is live streaming here to stay? Let's find out more from Fadzuli from PROLIVE. PROLIVE actually specializes in live streaming services. So more about Fadzuli. He has started his entrepreneurship journey since 2006, where he began by selling and promoting a special kind of soap for the Muslim community. Ever since then, he started many ventures and services with his current business partners with nearly $0. He believes that business is all about trust, and building trust can take some time. And we also have to prove to the other party that we are of benefit. With his background in multimedia and web technologies, it is natural for him to take on live streaming, and when he was challenged to run an event on the web in 2010. Since then, he has taken many projects revolving around live streaming and decided to position it as a brand called PROLIVE in 2005. He is currently married to a geography teacher and has two kids, 11 years old and 6 years old. They also have a cat named after a cartoon character named Baymax. He follows Manchester United after Ronaldo rejoined the team. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you Fadzuli. Come on, Fadzuli. Come.
Hello, how are
Nice
you?
to meet you. It's been a long time since we've seen each other. I
Yes.
look forward to your presentation, and
Alright.
I really hope that you guys out there learn and understand how easy professional live streaming is. And Fadzuli, can take it away.
Alright,
Thank you so
thank
much
very
for
much,
having me
Zul.
here.
Come.
Take care and have a nice presentation.
All right, how's everyone? Okay, can we have the slides up, please? Yeah. All right. Okay, first, is there any comments coming in from the Facebook page? Let's do a test first, yeah. Let my crew check for a while. Let's go back one slide. Is there any comments yet? Okay, we have a test comment, right? So maybe we can push it out and show them how it looks like. Yeah, so earlier today, when I started to stream this, I posted this on Facebook. So if you want your comments to appear on the screen, you can start commenting in our Facebook page. All right, so back to the topic. What does it take to be a live streaming service provider especially in Singapore or maybe globally? Okay, so allow me to share a little bit. Okay, I've been an entrepreneur since 2006. Started selling products like soap, a special kind of soap. But how did I end up doing all this technical work? Okay, so my background is from NUS is com science. So I meddled with programming a lot back then. Then eventually me and my partner started out business building websites and so on. But eventually, as Zul mentioned, in 2010 we were challenged to run a live stream event for an event, for a religious event actually. So we took it up and started to learn things from scratch. We didn't know how to handle cameras, we didn't know how to, what are audio, all these microphones and systems and so on. Later I will go through the process. Even in a studio like this, you need to learn a little bit about lighting. Because if you don't have illumination, your face will be dark and you can't get a very good image eventually. Okay, so now, so what are we capable of doing? Okay, as you can see on the screen, okay, this is a typical, not a typical, actually this is a very high-end kind of event. Okay, can I? Oh no, there's no pointer here. Okay, not an issue. Okay, so as you can see on that stage, there is what we call LED wall on top. Okay, I need to do the reverse, yeah, on top. Okay, this side, sorry, yeah. This is the LED wall, okay? And below, you can see the panelists. Okay, need to adjust a little bit, sorry, yeah. The panelists sitting down, there are about 3 of them physically. And if you go a little bit down here, okay, it's cut off already, yeah. Okay, in the third person from the left is actually a hologram. And of course, the fifth person, you will see another LED wall, a smaller LED wall, showing someone probably from Zoom. Okay, this is technically what we call a hybrid event, which is happening right now. Perhaps the hologram example is not widely used because it's very troublesome to set up. But nowadays we have a lot of Zoom sessions. They are using TVs or even just project them on a projector during an event. Okay, but if you look back before COVID, this has actually happened, but it is more rampant now because COVID is still here. And to answer the question, is live streaming still relevant today? Yes. There's a lot of companies still require live streaming services. 2 days ago, I just got a call. This is a real case example, yeah? Minister Maliki had COVID, and he was supposed to do a speech yesterday, on Sunday. And my team was called up, and they were asking whether we could do it. So we managed to, because we didn't have any events yesterday, so we took it up, and we set up that particular Saturday night, and we run the show on Sunday. So you never know. COVID has actually escalated or even exploded our business at some point, okay? So we are here to stay. Live streaming is definitely here to stay, and with technology like metaverse and with all this progression towards gaming and so on, live streaming is going to stay, and it will eventually also grow and evolve to something else in the future. You never know. Okay, next. Okay, so what publics usually think that we do, that most of you probably will think that, yeah, live streaming, people are selling clothes online. Okay, so just to put a disclaimer here, because we are live in Facebook, right? Some of the images, I just took it out from the website. So if it belongs to you, just write in to us if you want to. We can cut this video in the future. Okay? So this is just an example of how people use live streaming to sell products online. I think a lot of us have seen this in Lazada, in Shopee, in all these apps, even in Facebook. You see a lot of people selling clothes and so on. My wife loves to buy clothes through all these sellers. Okay? But this is what my kids think I do, because every time I bring home a lot of wires sometimes. I bring home cables and so on, because from after event, right, we don't go back to office. Sometimes we bring back cables and so on. So they see wires, so they think that daddy is a wire man. Everything all about wires. So this is what my kids think I do. Okay. So where does live streaming falls under? So in general, we fall in two categories of industry. The MICE industry, MICE, which means meetings, incentives, conferences, exhibitions. So this is where we comes in. And of course, the broadcast industry. Okay, live streaming is using internet. Whereas previously, when we talk about broadcast, it was using satellite technology. So if you look at the evolvement of the evolving world of broadcast industry, it has eventually reached to this stage where live streaming is actually part of the broadcast industry. Because nowadays, last time, maybe 10 to 20 years down the road, if you want to see a Premier League soccer game, an organization had to broadcast it from London or England and send it all over the world through satellite. But nowadays, because of internet, it is powerful enough, and with all the speed 5G and all the optical cables undersea and so on, it is powerful enough to transmit or broadcast a transmission through internet. So I'm not saying that the satellite industry is killed off, but no, because it is still relevant and still being used in military situations and so on. But live streaming have actually disrupted a certain level of market in the satellite industry. So we are in these two areas. Okay, so let me share a bit more. Okay, so some examples that we did. Okay, during the COVID, when COVID somewhere about 2 years ago, 2020, we got this job to be the first vendors to handle what we call a virtual press conference. It was a never heard of kind of occupation, right? Or what we call job task. Okay, so what is a virtual press conference? Basically, anytime when a minister want to announce a news, they will release it to the press first. Press meaning the media, like Channel News Asia, SPH, and so on. So the reporters usually will come to a room, what we call a press conference room, and they will get the news first before all the news are being written out and or broadcasted through news and so on. So, but during the COVID-19, reporters cannot report to the room. So we were the first vendor to got this job, to take on this job, to try out with them, where almost every week, back then we had like 3 press conferences per week, where we did a Zoom session with the ministers, and there were the audiences were the reporters inside. So being in that job requires us to sign a lot of NDA issues and so on. So because we cannot release news earlier than the press, so they are because they are release timings for news. So those are things that we learn along the way, and we were, as mentioned, we were the first vendors to handle this job. So eventually, it was passed on to other vendors because we came in without tender, because it was an emergency service. Somehow we were called in, and we did some rigorous tests with them, and yeah, and we got a job. But it was only up to 30 tasks, 30 jobs. Eventually, it was passed on to another vendor to handle it. Okay, so next, this is one of the live stream that we did. This is at Wisma Geylang Serai. Okay, it was a singing competition, but we only represent, even though we are a live stream company, but we work under a very bigger team, because the other teams are handling all the camera works, audio works, the staging, the coordination with singers and so on. We were just 2 guys helping them with live streaming. So in this industry, we also work with bigger teams, with AV teams. So in BNI, we talk about referrals, right? So I will ask for referrals to work with other AV companies. So if you have other AV companies, you can also refer me. Okay? So we also work with very big teams and with other teams. Okay, so during COVID, also this is still COVID time. This is an international event where it was broadcasted in 4 countries: Singapore, New York, Dubai, and Australia. So we represent the Singapore side. We help them to stream up to a certain platform where they schedule out events. So the program is as such where it starts in Australia at 9 a.m. Then by 10 a.m. it has moved on to New York, then Dubai, and then probably at 5 p.m. it came to Singapore. So when it was out turn, we stream the ladies there. You can see they were talking to the camera and so on. Okay, now this is one of the things that we do for international events. Okay, next. Okay, this is another international event. We had, this is one of our clients under art restaurant. The main clients are in Italy. What they do is that they auction truffles. You know, one truffle, imagine one truffle can cost you $250,000. So this is a super high-end market where people, they get rich people to come in to dine and bid for this truffle. So this is one of the exciting kind of live stream you ever see, very engaging, because they would, it is, a truffle can be bidded in 4 countries. So imagine the host of every country will say, hey, do you want to bid, do you want to bid? So you can see online people all bidding. So it was quite interesting kind of live event. Okay, next. We also supported Milk Lab to did a virtual product launch during the COVID time. And we also did some product demos during the session. Okay, so this is a typical setup of a green screen setup. Okay, Azan, can you switch to a green screen where I'm standing on now, so the audience can see? Back. Thank you very much. Okay, so during COVID, we did a lot of green screen setups, especially for New Skin and Amway. I mean, okay, but the director who directs the shoot is from Malaysia. So what we needed to do was that during recording, we needed to stream it to them, and they will give instruction on what to do. So we come to a really virtual world, right? So where people can work anywhere. It's just a matter of technology and equipment. And the director is from Malaysia, so imagine that. He's not even present at that location. So yeah, so we were just getting instruction from him. Cut, stop, shoot, record, stop, shoot, record, stop. So he was given instruction by Malaysia side. Okay, so next, this was at our old office, our old studio. You see, one of our friends rented for their live stream event. Okay, as you can see, the host there is actually Jamie Yo, in front of a big teleprompter that we have. Okay, so this is our current studio. We moved recently somewhere in July. And this place is right now active, and we can start to do a lot of events here also. Okay, so I'm just coming to some fundamentals. To be a live stream service provider, you need these fundamentals. Okay. Okay, so basically it is evolves around these 4 topics, capture, encode, distribute, and engage. Okay, now, what is capture? Okay, capturing is, the whole idea of capturing is actually you need to capture the character. So there's one person here. I need to be mic up. There's a mic here. Okay, you need audio system. A good audio system to capture good quality audio. So which also means I have to hire audio tech engineers for events, or work with other audio tech if you are working in a big group. Okay. Second, we need display and projection. So in certain events, especially those hybrid, they will use projectors, they will use TV screens. Even in our studio, we have a TV here. So there must be a way to project, and so that we know that what's going on and so on. So even projecting PowerPoint slides, and how do you project it to the live stream. So there's a method where we do picture-in-picture effect. Okay. Okay. Thirdly, lights. To capture, you need very good lights so that the video is visible. And of course, lastly, is video. Okay. In different events and different settings, you might need. In this case, we are just using one camera actually. Okay. But in most events, especially those hybrid, we need probably 2 or 3. Okay. And it becomes a multi-cam production. It's no longer a single cam production. Okay. So more equipment, more manpower. Actually, it costs even more to run a professional live stream service. Okay. So that's about capture. This is the basic things that we need to capture. Then, okay, so what differentiates us from filmmakers and people who make film, drama, and so on? Okay, so one key thing is that they don't need the internet. But we do, because we need to broadcast it somewhere, see? Okay, so that's the differentiation between us and Zul, Yeah? Okay, so so the second thing that you need to, a live stream production company needs to understand is they need to do encoding. And there's 2 levels of encoding. Okay, one is to encode to your computer, from camera to encoding. So what is encoding actually? Okay, in layman terms, it's actually just to translate a certain language to another language, from Spanish to English, or because different machines understand different things. So there are certain protocols that need to be converted. Okay, so one of the key things is also to, we need to convert, okay, raw video signals is very huge. How much is a 1 hour recording? How big is 1 hour recording, Zul?
Hundreds of gigabytes. It can be 100 gigabyte to an extent, like on the camera lah.
Yeah, so depend on what kind of shoot that you do. Imagine you shoot a 4K video. Wow. The other day, last Tuesday, we did one just short 8-minute shoot. It becomes 6 GB already for 4K. So imagine you want to transfer that video. For live streaming, that is not that is a no-no, because the file is just too big and will take too long to load. So that's where the encoders come in. It actually streams down and change it to a certain format called H.265, H.264 formats and so on. Okay, so it's just an idea of encoding. Okay, but what's more important is actually you need stable internet. Okay, I'm putting there minimally 20 Mbps upload speed. Okay, so many places, okay, to be honest, we have done many events. We also have failed in many events, and we learn from those lessons that we need really proper hardware to keep the network up. Okay, so we invested in many things. For example, as you can see, a bonding hardware, and we also have fallback network service. So basically, a bonding hardware is a 4G system. It bonds multiple SIM cards. So in my case, in my machine, we can bond up to 6 SIM cards. Imagine if Singtel goes down, StarHub still up. If M1 goes down, could be Circle Live still up. So just an example. Okay, so what is a fallback network? Okay, so bonding, it kind of bond together and it totals up the speed or the bandwidth that is required. But a fallback network is something that if all these network crashes, there is something to fall back on. So these are equipments which we have invested heavily to make sure events don't fail. So this is something which you want, if you going into live stream production, this is something that you want to really invest in. Okay, so sometimes a client will ask, we need, because it's off-site, for example, in MOE or in government buildings, you are not allowed to tap their LAN network. You cannot get their speed. So you don't have a choice. You need to use 4G or 5G there. So if it's beyond our capacity, what we do is that we engage this company called Blue Wireless. Their office is located in Paya Lebar. Okay, they are one of the companies who specialize in 5G, 4G and 5G networks, and they can bond all to ensure that speed doesn't go down, your internet doesn't go down. Okay, so if you Google Blue Wireless, they actually serve many corporations. I think all the traffic light, 4G, all the camera, speed cameras and so on are using 4G, their technology, to stream out the data to their servers. Okay, so you can look up for Blue Wireless, and it's not cheap, I will tell you that. Okay, one time you call them, I remember calling them just to hire them. This is already 1,500 per day to set up, to use their service per day. All right. Okay, so that's encoding. Good internet, you need an encoder to translate languages. And the next one is actually distribution. When we talk about distribution, this is where you need to understand, where do we send all these signals to? So, one, okay, we are so used to Facebook. In our case, we are currently streaming to Facebook, right? We are currently streaming to Facebook. But there are many other platforms like streaming to Zoom, Vimeo, LinkedIn, YouTube, or any kinds of platform. Like sometimes we have requests to stream to Event X, Bright Cove. These are all different platforms. Okay, but earlier we talked about video encoding to make it streamable. Okay, so in each of these platforms, they have their own kind of encoding also. So I think most of us are familiar with Zoom. Okay, Zoom, Skype, and a certain probably Google Meet and all, they have their own proprietary kind of technology, because they unlike the standard Facebook streaming. Right now, when I stream to you, you are 20 to 30 seconds away to see my video. From the time I speak here, you probably hear me 20 seconds later in real time. Okay, but for Zoom and Skype, it is almost like real time. It's almost like 0.5 seconds delay. Okay, latency. So they have their own kind of protocol and setup. So usually they are streaming at a lower latency because to get the speed. Because when you imagine you do a Zoom meeting, if the delay is so much, it looks weird. When you start talking, the guy only hear you 30 seconds later. Response to you 40, it could take 1 minute to respond back. A bit weird, right? Okay, but that's where Zoom comes in, Skype comes in. Okay? Okay, these are some of the popular streaming softwares that we've built in encoders. Okay? For me personally, I have used OBS. I have used this Wirecast, which is just below. And currently, we are using vMix, because vMix is currently the standard for professional live streaming service. Because vMix can do a lot of things that the other two services cannot do. Okay? Okay, so that's the distribution part. So, wow, that's quite a mouthful, right? Quite a lot of things that for a live stream service provider need to understand and need to know what to do and so on. Okay, and lastly, we talk about engagement. Okay? At the end of the day, when we are streaming an event, is it going to be we need to understand what is the content. Okay, for most of the corporate kind of live streaming, right? To be honest, it's not so exciting, but it is for the CEO to deliver a message to their staff. So some of the live stream that we do is super boring. I will tell you, it's super boring, but it's important for them because they could be a multinational company which has 3,000 staff globally. So to fly 3,000 staff to Singapore just to do one event is going to be very costly for the company. So it makes more sense for them to do live stream. Okay, it makes a lot of sense for them to do live stream. And well, they could do it hybrid, where in physical location there will be probably 100 packs, and the rest of 3,100 people will be online. So that's what's happening. So and it saves a lot of money instead of flying everybody in to do all that. Okay? And imagine you have to book the hotel and all the logistics is crazy. So live stream has actually disrupted this market also, if you look at the whole thing lah. Okay? So if your content is not so good, imagine your guys over the other side, and not sleeping. I think we are all guilty of attending Zoom sessions where we also turn off the video and sleep, right? So I think that's the thing that we need to make. We need to engage our audience, and this is where we collaborate with event companies. We let the event companies think of the whole process, how to make it fun, and we settle the production side, the technology side. Okay, so this is important. To me, I think it's important. So we need to rah-rah the people, even though it's online. Okay, so a good referral for me are event companies, brand or marketing agencies, audio, visual, and live stream companies, training companies, social media companies. I would like to, for BNI, we need to do these one-to-ones, right? So these are the companies that we are always looking for and to work with. Okay, so lastly, thank you very much. Let's get in touch. This is where my studio is, at 1 Tannery Road, 0501 Singapore 347719. You can contact me. That's my number, 94520491, or you can call Azan at 92311548. She's my operations staff, so he also can help liaise with you and handle all the inquiries and so on. So thank you very much. That's all from me. Thank you, guys. Zul, let's come back. Come on. Okay, so I'm staying here, right?
Thank you so much. Okay. Thank you so much for sharing more about the live streaming service that you have shared. I have a few questions from myself personally.
Yeah.
And the first one being, when you shared about the MICE, which is, what is that?
Meetings,
incentive, exhibitions and conferences, right?
Conferences, yeah.
I didn't really understand more about what do you mean by incentives?
Incentives, I think when someone came up with the name MICE, right, I think when you run an event, there must be some kind of incentive eventually, right?
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
okay, so
I have no idea who came up with the name, but that is the standard name for the industry, MICE.
I see. Okay, understand. So, okay, for the second question, right, I noticed that you were featured in Berita Harian back in 2018.
Yeah.
And the title was sharing about you actually invested about more than $100,000 to provide this live streaming service. Is it true?
Yes. To this date, it has increased. I think we are coming close to $500,000 already. Let's be honest about it. Every time this industry is very progressive.
Very progressive.
Cameras last only. I mean, you are also in the camera industry. I mean, probably 5 years. Then you have to rebuy again.
Correct.
And all these equipments become legacy. And imagine the maintenance of certain equipments. It does cost a lot to run, to be part of this business.
Yeah. So $500,000.
Almost half there.
Oh my God. Yeah, this one.
I mean, imagine building this studio. This studio already almost about $100K already.
Including the everything, the scaffold and the
aircon and everything. Imagine.
Wow. Oh my God. Okay, this is a really good place to host any kind of shows that you want, green screen or not. Still a good place to. How many cameras do you have in total?
Currently in studio we have 2, but we can add on. In total, we have about 10 cameras.
10 cameras.
Yeah.
But usually in a studio setting, right? Usually how many cameras do you run?
Usually 2 is sufficient.
2. Okay.
But sometimes they want certain angles, so we will add one more. 3 is
a
good size.
It's a good size lah. So 4 is a plus lah. So usually, I think based on my experience, I've did some shows before, and usually it's 3 to 4 cameras. 2 cameras on a close up, 1 wide shot, and then the other one is just focusing on the host
MC
or the main MC. Yeah. So wow. Okay, that's okay. So the third question that I have is actually when it comes to encoding, is it right to say that the device that you have to encode it does it compresses the signal
Yes.
to fit enough to send enough data to the distribution platforms,
Yes.
right? Okay, okay. So the last one,
So it's always there's a standard upload speed that upload in terms of pushing out the data. So like for example Facebook. Okay, Facebook, if you try to push 180p at 50 MB
1080p
or 1080p at 50
megabyte. Is it
50 fps. Okay, it's gonna be very slow.
MPS as in
Yeah.
megabyte per second, right?
Yeah.
Okay, 50 megabytes.
So it's going to be quite slow. So usually we will, for Facebook, we'll drop it down to 720 to make it more stable, because it depends on your internet connection. If your office have 1 GB speed to push it up, why not go for the 180?
But is it really true 1 GB stands for 1 GB? But usually when I use the internet, I check the
Nah,
speed.
yeah,
and
it's always lower than that lah.
Okay.
It can varies if you turn on and check speed all the time. It can varies from time to time.
But usually 4G is it good enough? Like if let's say I want to if want to do a live stream, can I use my phone internet to do it?
You can.
If let's
but
say
would a corporate company approach you to do that?
okay, there's one question happening. You guys have video. What does video wall? Is this what do you mean by
Video wall is LED wall. Currently we don't have, so we work with other partners to set up video walls.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for the
Estimates
question.
from Singapore, Estimate Singapore.
Yeah,
Okay.
because that itself requires another kind of investment, and video walls require a lot of manpower to set up. Yeah,
Video
so
walls as in only in the studio, or
remember
is it
the
like for
LED
exhibitions?
walls, exhibitions.
Exhibitions only, right?
No, for events and
Events.
so on.
Okay, okay, but not usually.
There are
not in-
companies that do LED wall in studio. Imagine Hollywood. Now they shoot Star Wars and everything.
Yeah,
with
yeah.
LED wall, right?
If I'm not wrong, the Mandalorian, they used a
Yeah.
projection
Correct.
and then use the camera, and then they can project the set itself on the wall itself.
Yeah, so that kind of
Very
production,
brilliant.
the setup, I think it's really $500,000 to even more than that.
Very
Expensive,
insane.
because the camera is not just a camera. They require a special kind of camera and special kind of sensors to detect movements
Correct.
and so on. So
Camera sensors, because
we are not that level yet. So if you ask me, we are not there yet.
That one Hollywood level already.
Hollywood
Different,
level, you must have 20 million, 30 million kind of budget for production.
Yes, it is like a huge TV when it comes to video wall, right? Video
Yeah.
wall or projection, right? Yeah, so it is like considered a huge TV. But when it comes to the projection, it's happening live, right? When the camera moves, as in when we're
Yeah.
talking about the Mandalorian.
Correct.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So I have another question. I'm a bit confused about this. Is the bonding hardware
Yeah.
and the fallback network the same device, or is it a separate
It's
device?
a separate device.
Oh, so the bonding hardware is the one that has the 6 SIM cards, right? Then the fallback network is the one that you're talking
It's
about.
also
is the
using
blue.
SIM cards.
Uh-huh.
Ours is up to 4 SIM cards.
The fallback network.
Yeah.
So okay.
So you could use, for example, to bond, you could use Singtel, StarHub, M1. Then the fallback network, you could use Circle Life or other. But now
Okay, okay.
TPG lah, whatever. Right?
Gomo, I think this Gomo.
but-
Okay, okay.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
to be honest, in Singapore, these two is good enough. Singtel and StarHub, it covers practically the whole island already.
Yeah, estimates. I've read about the Unreal Engine. I think now it's Unreal Engine 5.
Yes.
The virtual production. Oh my god! When I look at the tour of the Unreal Engine, it's very. What I really love about the latest Unreal Engine is the ability to render like almost photorealistic graphics. Graphics onto the video wall or projection.
Correct.
That's what I really love about Unreal Engine. Have you have an experience about Unreal
Okay,
Engine?
so Unreal Engine, what you are seeing, the background is actually being done in Unreal Engine. Yes. So then there's the software for it, which is called under asymmetry software. So we are using this right now, as you can see it. But if you ask me to design a Unreal Engine background, I need to hire someone to do it lah.
So it's a
Yeah.
totally different.
Totally different
field.
kind of skill and feel to develop all this.
So
Yeah. So what I do is that I buy templates.
That's the fastest, most
That's the fastest
convenient
or
way
pay
to do
someone
it. Yeah.
just to build this. Yeah. Yeah.
Unless you have a really customized thing that you need to do that other templates that don't have,
Yeah.
then you know have to do
So
it
for
yourself.
example, you could like design this whole thing, like you take Masjid Sultan, take the picture, then you design everything in Unreal.
Correct,
So
correct. Oh my God. I can imagine when it comes to taking pictures, you can use a 360 camera, put inside the Masjid Sultan, take the whole auditorium and then put it inside.
yeah,
It's a very brilliant idea.
correct.
It's a very nice.
It's a totally different industry. So if you ask me, we are just the production that streams out all this content development. So the content development wise is totally different industry.
So
Yeah.
when it comes to live streaming, in terms of in ProLive itself, what do you major in? What are you in charge of when it comes to the live streaming service inside ProLive?
So currently I'm the do-it-all guy here, but I'm slowly training my guys to take over different roles. Sorry, mine is supposed to go to the nearer to your side.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so
Okay.
it's always a challenge because every day you will see something new. If you ever join a live streaming Facebook group, right, you will see the progression of things. It's almost like every month there is something new. There's something, someone tried this to do this, that, and that. So it's like a never-ending journey. Like for vMix itself, it's very huge. I mentioned the vMix software, right? It is distribution software, but it's also a video mixer. It's audio mixer.
Wow, didn't know that.
Yeah.
I only use OBS.
OBS is free, but
because it's free. That's why I use
vMix
OBS.
production is at least the professional level is already 1,006 Singapore dollars. Really.
Is it subscription or is it like per year or
Per year,
one-time
but
payment?
1 year support, 1 year of free upgrades.
Oh, yearly subscription.
So following up every year, we have to pay like $300 to $400.
But the one-time initial payment is 1,006.
1,006, yeah, about
I see, I see.
999 Singapore dollars. 999 USD, yeah, so about 1,415.
Okay, got
Yeah.
it. I see. Because the only time I only use OBS for smaller live streaming stuff.
But once
because
you
it's
get
free.
to my level, you need to project your virtual output to the TV. You need to stream it to the Facebook. You need to do quite a lot of multitasking jobs.
Correct.
And that is just the software, you know. You ask my guys, one CPU will cost us, with the GPU, everything,
10,000?
14,000.
Oh my God.
Yeah, because we need the stability. So vMix helps us to stabilize everything. For example, you need recording, you need to stream, you need to do quite a few multitasking tasks. So we need a very powerful computer for this purpose.
There was one moment that you shared with me that your workstation crashed. When was it? What happened?
That happened to 2020 for MCYS job. It took us 10 minutes to recover.
Oh my God.
But since then we learned that we need the bonding hardware, we need the backup, because it started with a crash on the network side. And when that crashed, all the hardware also Zoom crashed because
what happened actually? What caused
because
the crash
we
actually?
run vMix and Zoom in the same machine.
Oh.
So when the network went down, Zoom crashed. Then it just hang the whole system.
Oh my God. I can
It
imagine.
took us 10 minutes to recover. Imagine the
10 minutes of tension.
yeah,
It's
so it's like
really
the host
unbearable.
had to like entertain
Like
the audience.
improvise until the network is back up again. Oh my God.
Yeah,
that's-
so it was crazy time. And there were like 1,500 people online. So that was like, wow. Like,
hopefully
man.
the
But
audience
we
didn't
learn
really
from
any
it.
awkward
I mean,
moments lah.
We learn from the mistakes. We understand we need to invest in the hardware.
So
we
that
learn from all the
when
steps,
ProLive serves customers and vendor and serve you guys, potential customers,
yeah.
In God's will, you guys will be in good hands, in good Fadzuli's
Yeah.
hands. Yeah.
Expensive lessons to learn now.
Yeah, but there's an ROI to that, right? Yeah. So thank you so much. Do you have any last words?
Is there any
before we know?
questions online?
Yeah. So far we're still waiting for any other questions that
Just now
popping
you
on
mentioned
Facebook.
8 Mbps to upload a hardware. No, actually you don't need 8 Mbps. You need only 4 Mbps.
Really?
Yeah.
I think is
It's
I
sufficient.
think Facebook has 6 Mbps.
Yeah,
Maybe it's enough for
I think it's 3 Mbps, 3.5. At this.
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So does all the platforms, like say Facebook, YouTube, and other platforms, do they have the same
Different.
different?
Different.
But usually it ranges between how much?
YouTube can stream. You know, YouTube can stream up to 4K.
Huh?
Yes. We tried 2160p to 25.
Okay,
2160p,
Casper
25.
has a question when it comes to when you guys had problems. So how do you actually react? How did the clients react to it?
How did the clients react? Of course, they were not happy lah. So, because in any event, something cock up, someone will take the blame. You see,
Yeah, I
especially in
understand.
government sector, the minister, someone have to take the blame lah. But
Yeah.
we always try to comfort them to 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 solve the problem as fast as possible.
Mm.
So, but they honestly they see our effort to recover it, and of course during the rehearsal we did all the A to Z, even backup plan.
all
and you
okay,
know,
all went smoothly.
went smoothly during rehearsals, everything.
Only during
But
the
Murphy's law took place, right? So
yeah, it is what it is.
yeah,
Yeah, you just have to work our way beyond it.
correct.
Got it. It's very nice having you to share more about PROLIVE's live streaming services. I really learned a lot in terms of the 4 parts that I remember: capture, the other one is encoding,
yeah.
and then after that distribution, and then the last one something
Engagement.
very new, which is engagement.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm looking forward to to giving you more referrals and also share your service to the people that I know.
Thank you.
And thank you so much, guys, for tuning in to BNI Ambitious Lunch Talk. I'm your host, Zulhilmi, and we have here Fadzuli from ProLive. Thank you so much, and tune in into the next episode, BNI Ambitious Lunch Talk, and see you next time. Bye.
Bye.